Hey, this is Jeff Robbins coming at you from the 103.5 FM, the Sun Community Radio Studios, underwritten by our good friends at the Bank of Sun Prairie. And I am pleased today to be joined by Gabe Hanna and Rachel Mortensen. They are two cast members in the upcoming production of the classic fairy tale Cinderella that the Sun Prairie Civic Theater is putting on starting August 4th through August 13th. Rachel and Gabe, thanks for being here today.
Of course, glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Cinderella's been around forever. I mean, the story's been around forever. This production, I believe, is based on the Rodgers and Hammerstein musical.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Do we know when that was originally staged?
Oh gosh.
The 1950s or 60s?
Yeah.
It was during the golden age of Hollywood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not Hollywood, Broadway.
Broadway, late 40s, early 50s.
And it predated the Disney version that a lot of people might be familiar with.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Gabe, I'm pleased to be sitting this close to you. You are actually playing Prince Topher, correct?
Yes, I am.
And that's short for Christopher? Is that?
It is.
Short for Christopher Rupert. There's a whole song about his whole name.
Yep.
He's got many names.
Oh, really? There's a whole song about your name?
There is. There's a whole song.
Now, do you both, okay, so, and then Rachel, you're part of the ensemble, correct?
I am.
So what does that mean to people listening?
So that means I'm not one of the principal characters. My character doesn't have a name in the script. You'll see me in the background of most of the scenes. I play a peasant woman. I go to the ball. I also play the giant at the beginning, which if you're only familiar with the Disney version, you're probably thinking, what giant?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. How does the giant play into the story?
It's part of Topher's character development, where he establishes himself as very brave, where he fights the giant and rescues the knights who are supposed to be protecting him, I presume. So he comes in and we get into a fight. He wins.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, yeah.
So you probably have a lot of costume changes, I'm guessing.
I do. I have my giant costume, which includes stilts, which is
Okay.
pretty exciting. And then I have my peasant costume, and then I have my ball costume, which is just like a really pretty dress. And then I go back to my peasant costume for the rest of the show.
Did you audition on stilts? How did they know that you could handle stilts?
They thought I looked solid during the audition is the word they used.
Wow, solid.
Good
Okay.
foundation.
I have
Good
balance.
foundation.
I have good balance. And so they could tell that from, the audition. And they thought, even if this person doesn't have any experience on stilts, they can probably figure it out. And for the most part, they're right. I haven't fallen yet.
Well, now you just jinxed yourself.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
Here, knock on wood.
Yeah,
there you
right.
go, okay. So, speaking of the audition, and I'll ask this for both of you, do you audition for a particular role, or do you just? How does this work with the Civic Theater? Like, how did you land the role of the prince?
Sure. Well, I think all individuals auditioning go in with the same mindset that they're auditioning for the show, not necessarily for a specific part. Of course,
Do you
aspirations.
read from something from this show? or
Eventually,
Okay.
during the callback session, you're either called back for a variety of different roles or one specific role. But in the initial audition process, you go in with a song that you prepared. You learn, maybe 30 bars of a dance choreo thing from what they plan to teach you in the show. If you do proceed into being in the show, it's very basic level at the beginning, and then if you do move on to a callback, if they decide to call you back for a specific role, that's when you start learning bits and pieces of what those roles might be, so that they can see you perform in that specific light to what those characters are that they're imagining you performing on the stage at the later point in time.
Yes.
So during the callback process, that's when the director specifically maybe targets you for a particular role.
Correct.
Okay. Now let's say if I wanted to, this is never going to happen, but let's say that I was going to audition for Cinderella, but I didn't want to sing and dance. I wanted like a speaking role. First of all, are there any just speaking roles in Cinderella? And would I have to sing and dance as part of my audition, even if I didn't want to sing and dance in the show?
I would say so. There's definitely some speaking roles, specific speaking roles in the show. I guess the expectation for auditions you would have to at some point attempt to sing and dance.
Okay, well that eliminates me.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is there are plays that are put on by the by the Civic
So
Theater.
maybe
Yes.
wait for a non-musical to audition.
Yeah,
There
if
you go.
singing and
See,
dance maybe isn't your thing.
Yeah.
There's other options.
There's other opportunities. There's always going to be something that
I think The Odd Couple
appeals.
was the previous one to this, wasn't it? Or was
That sounds right.
Yeah. So Rachel, tell me a little bit about your background in theater, if you have a background in theater, as I assume you must.
It's not as storied as Gabe's. I'm not nearly as experienced in theater. I took private voice lessons for just over a decade, which was mostly opera and oratorio focused.
Okay.
But that's just because that was my voice teacher's focus. I was always really interested in musical theater. My high school was really small. We were supposed to put on a musical my senior year of high school, but the director ended up dropping out, and so the whole musical got canceled. So I didn't get to do a musical in high school.
Geez.
I did get to do a musical. It was really disappointing. It was the Music Man, so everyone was super excited
Oh
about
no.
it. Yeah, it would have been so much fun. But in college, I was in the Rocky Horror Show, which was super fun.
Yeah.
And then after I graduated from college, life happened, and I just couldn't find a way to get back into theater until this year. This year, everything worked out. The stars aligned. The pandemic has subsided.
Right.
And and then I find out that SPCT is doing one of my favorite shows, and so
Cool.
sign up for that audition.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
And Gabe, what's your background in theater?
Sure. Well, I come from Janesville, Milton area. I graduated from Craig High School so many years ago. I attended the University of Wisconsin, where I obtained my bachelor's in theater and drama with an acting specialist option.
Okay.
Most of my theater career was during those formative high school years. I played a variety of different roles throughout those 4, if not 5 years. Then moving on to college,
This is your first time playing a prince. See, I asked the
Yes.
questions here.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So
Oh no, it's not. Technically, yes. I've played a royal, as in like a duke, before. It's
Okay.
different. It's different. I swear.
Fair enough.
I think that's just nobility.
Yes.
I don't think that counts as royalty.
Doesn't count as royalty.
No.
Yeah.
So this is a step up. Your
Yeah.
career's progressing.
It's progressing. I'm happy to say that it's going upwards.
So I interrupted you. So you starting to get into your college days.
Sure, yeah. So I in college we performed a variety of different shows. I had the opportunity to assistant direct Julius Caesar, which was my first time doing anything Shakespeare. So yeah, I've seen the gambit.
Okay. I guess we should maybe back up a second. We're talking with Gabe Hanna and Rachel Mortensen from the upcoming Sun Prairie Civic Theater production of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Anybody interested in going, and of course you should be interested in going, you can get tickets. Where can they get tickets, Gabe?
Yeah, so I do have my cheat sheet. They can get their tickets at sunprairiecivictheater.com. The shows are running from August 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th. Those are all, I believe the 4th is...
That's a Friday.
That's a Friday,
I've
yeah.
got 7:30 for those times.
Yep, 7:30 for those times, and then 6th and 13th are Sundays, and they're at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And this is all being performed at the Sun Prairie East High School.
Sun Prairie East High School Performing Arts Center.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. For some reason, I don't have the website on this thing that I have, which is why I was confused. And I think you can also get tickets day of if you want to chance it that it's not sold out.
Yep, I would definitely recommend going online to grab your tickets. But if you do want to chance it, you can go to the theater, the high school, East High School, the day of. Prices are $20 per ticket for adults, $17 for seniors and active military, and $15 for students and children.
All right. Excellent. So we were talking earlier, Gabe, and an interesting little tidbit that we talked about was that you are familiar with the person playing the role of Cinderella.
Familiar is a very open concept idea. Yes, I am dating. For the past 2 years, I've been dating Ella, who is playing Ella in Cinderella.
Oh, her name is Ellen.
Her name is Ella. Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Do you go to the audition together? Do you say, hey, if you want one of us, you got to take both of us? How does this work?
Well, we were really hoping, praying, crossing our fingers that we would both make it into the show. Hopefully as counterparts, of course. But the whole point was to essentially, in her words, have a very extended date for the entire summer.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. So the goal was to hopefully make it into a show together, so that we were able to perform, act, work off of each other in that regard, but also just be able to do something fun and of the same likelihood of what we like to do.
Have you ever been in a production together before?
No, we have not. This is our first production together on stage.
And it's going okay?
I would say so.
The relationship is surviving the process.
Oh, it's surviving.
Okay.
It's surviving. They're bumpy roads. No, I'm kidding. It's it's great.
It's been such a joy to watch. Honestly, it's my favorite part of the production is like two people who are in love in real life playing people who are in love. It's so wholesome and charming, and it's exactly what Cinderella is about, I think.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's the entire motif of the show is how to find kindness in all, and to find love where you wouldn't necessarily specifically think that you could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would only think that it could only help the believability of the relationship and I would think.
For sure.
Rachel, how many people in the cast? I mean, how big of a production is this, or roughly how many people are we talking?
I think it's about 30 in the cast.
Yeah,
including the principals and the ensemble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's run down the list of the principals. We got Ella. We got the prince. Who else do we have? We have the stepsisters, I assume.
We have the stepsisters
evil
and the stepmother.
Yeah.
We have Topher's primary advisor,
Sebastian, yep.
and a secondary advisor, Lord Pinkleton.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Pinkleton.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We've also got so the stepsisters. We've also got the love interest of Gabrielle.
Who's a revolutionary.
Revolutionary.
Jean-Michel.
Jean-Michel.
Okay.
Yes.
And we have the fairy godmother.
Fairy godmother.
Oh, of course, the fairy godmother.
How could we forget the fairy
course.
godmother?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
right.
Sorry, yeah.
Right.
Now, for people that know the Disney version, are there a lot of differences? I mean, this version probably doesn't have the mice, right? Or does this version have the mice?
The mice are mentioned.
The mice are
Okay.
mentioned. They're not actually
Seen,
no, but they are mentioned in one of the most, I suppose, popular songs in the show, Impossible and Possible. It's a duo song, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Another big difference from the Disney film is that Prince Topher and Ella actually meet before the ball
Oh.
and
Yeah.
make an impression on one another.
Okay.
And so when they meet again at the ball, it's a big moment. And it's not just the ball. Spoiler alert, she doesn't lose her slipper at the ball. It's
Oh.
a different event.
It's a different event.
What event does she lose the slipper at?
We can't tell you. You got to come see the
You have to
show.
come see it. You have to
Geez,
come
that's
see it.
That's a tease. Okay.
Yep.
And then how many people are involved in the crew? How many people
So
are like behind the scenes?
just
Roughly.
roughly probably around 10 to 15 individuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long? I mean, you mentioned doing this with your girlfriend in the process. When were auditions? How long have you been involved in this world of Cinderella this summer?
So auditions were at the beginning of June,
Okay.
I believe, right?
I feel like they were earlier than that. Because
Maybe.
didn't rehearsals start at the beginning of June?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so they were at the end of May, and
Okay.
then rehearsals began. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rehearsals started at the beginning of June, so we've been rehearsing for about a month and a half. And so
that seems pretty quick though to put something like this together. It's a 2-hour show, right? Or more than 2 hours?
It's right around 2 hours.
Yeah.
And we practice 5 days a week for about 3 hours.
Which, okay. So I mean, this is like you're involved. I mean, this is like a serious thing. You
It's a commitment.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
It's a commitment.
what I was looking for.
Yep.
So I mean, if you have a full-time job, you're doing this after. Is this like a 5 to 8 or 6 to 9 kind of a thing, or
It's 6 to 9.
6
Yeah.
to 9 every night? Okay.
Can confirm it's been a lot of long days this summer, but it's so worth it. I'm having such a great time.
I assume the younger people involved in youth production are probably rehearsing during the day, perhaps, because they're out of school this time of year. Or?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of crossover with the youth production, but from what we can understand is they've been doing very well.
Is there any sort of competition with the see who's going to become the best show? No, I'm kidding. So Rachel, you talked to that. You hadn't been in theater or anything for a little while. Is this like really whetted your appetite to get involved in more things? Are you going to continue to be involved in productions after this one, or are you like, I'm done. This is it.
I'm having the best time. I can't.
Awesome.
I'm having such a wonderful time. It's been such a great experience. I definitely do want to get involved in more productions in the future.
Okay.
It's definitely on my to-do list.
And Gabe, it sounds like you've been doing this quite a bit over the last few years, so you're going to continue, I assume.
Oh, sure, of course.
Okay.
Definitely.
Are you both from Sun Prairie originally, or you live in Sun Prairie, or how did you get involved in the Sun Prairie Civic Theater specifically?
I grew up in a very small town called Helensville, which is
Okay.
about 45 minutes east of Madison. It's the kind of town that you drive through. If you blink, you miss it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Helenville, to be honest.
Do you know where Johnson Creek is?
I do know where Johnson
If you
Creek is.
take that exit off the interstate and
Okay.
then drive 6 miles into the middle of nowhere, that's Helensville.
Is there a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General in
No,
wow, that's
we
very
got
small.
a gas station when I was in 4th grade, and that was a huge deal.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
very exciting. But
Is
I've
the gas
been,
station's still there?
it is
Okay.
thriving, yes. But I've been in Madison since 2010 when I moved here for school, and I've stayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then not from Sun Prairie or
No,
yeah, you're from Janesville, like you said earlier.
Yep, I am from Janesville. I was in Janesville, Milton area for the majority of my life, and since graduating from the UW, I've found myself either in Janesville or Madison.
So how do both of you? I mean, I'm just curious as to how the Civic Theater kind of markets itself. How do you learn about the Sun Prairie Civic Theater production, and then how do you get involved in it?
Sure. Well, I suppose just from personal experience, just searching for auditions online, looking on Facebook, looking on
Okay.
any other media stream for opportunities to get back into theater is usually, at least from an actor's perspective, is the best way to find work.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, of course.
If you're specifically interested in getting involved with SPCT, which I highly recommend, you can go on their website and sign up for audition notices, and they will send you an email a few weeks before auditions so that you can prepare and sign up. There's also a Facebook group. I forget exactly what it's called. It's something like Madison Area Auditions
Mhm.
that all the theater groups from basically southern Wisconsin come and post there.
Okay.
So, I've seen posts there from theater companies in Lake Geneva to ones right downtown here at Madison. So you
Okay.
can get a huge variety of shows for whatever your interest is.
Do we know what the next SPCT production will be after Cinderella?
I do not, actually.
Okay.
I heard a rumor, but I don't want to put false news out.
I heard it's the Weird Al Yankovic story, but that's neither here nor there. Anything else? Anything we didn't cover, Gabe and Rachel, about Cinderella before we give people the sales pitch again as to how to get their tickets?
No, I think we covered mostly everything. We're both very excited to be a part of this production, and we hope that it's a great success for those that would love to come and enjoy the show with us.
One of the, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I would also just like to put out a thank you to the production team. They have put together not only an incredible cast, they have created such a welcoming and supportive environment. I feel like everybody is just thriving.
Yes.
And it's been just an incredible experience.
That's very cool. Yeah, that's great. One of the nice things about doing Cinderella, I would think, from an actor's perspective or a director's perspective or a crew's perspective, is people know the story. So, I mean, people don't have to be like, well, what's this about? I mean, I think people...
It's something to enjoy, right? It's something to look forward to.
Right. I mean, I just sidebar. I just went to a production of Twelfth Night, and it's like,
Oh, sure.
it's you have to get into Shakespeare, and you have to really something like Cinderella. I think it's a little more accessible to people, right?
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
No,
Very
yeah,
much.
it's very,
Very
very
much.
much so.
All right. Well, I'm going to just give people the information here again. This is the adult quote unquote version of Cinderella. It's happening at Sun Prairie East High School's Performing Arts Center, which, for anybody that doesn't know, and I would assume you would, is at 888 Grove Street in Sun Prairie. I think everybody knows where the high school is. Performances are August 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th. That's a Friday, Saturday. Those are 2 Friday, Saturdays, I believe.
Yep.
Those are at 7:30 p.m. And then we've got Sunday matinees, August 6th and 13th at 2 p.m. General admission tickets I have as $20 for adults, $17 for seniors and active military, and $15 for youth ages 18 or younger. And Gabe, you said the website again was?
Yep. SunPrairieCivicTheater.com.
And if you want to chance it, apparently you can get tickets day up, but we'd recommend getting them ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Of course.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything I didn't hit or cover? Anything we didn't cover?
No, I think that's all.
Well, best of luck with the show. Good luck with any future endeavors in the theatrical world, and thanks for being here today.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, that was Gabe Hanna, otherwise known as Prince Topher, and Rachel Mortensen. She's in the ensemble, and that is, encourage you to check out Cinderella happening at the Sun Prairie East High School Performing Arts Center from August 4th through 13th. This has been Jeff Robbins coming at you from the 103.5 FM The Sun Community Radio Studios, underwritten by our good friends at the Bank of Sun Prairie. I have 3 people in the studio with me. Thank you all for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us. Good morning.
So I'm gonna go where I'll let you introduce yourselves. I'll start to my left, and you are Sir.
I am Moses. I'll be playing the prince in this production.
And I didn't even tell people why you're here, so I'll get to that.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, that's my bad.
Sorry, spoilers.
I am Fern, and I am playing Palace Staff.
And I am Sarah, and I am the director of this fine production yet to be named.
Ooh, okay. Why don't we go ahead and name that production? So we are, well, I guess I did tease it a little bit before at the top of the show, but yes, Moses and Fern and Sarah are all involved in the youth edition of Rodgers and Hammerstein's musical of Cinderella that the Sun Prairie Civic Theater is putting on August 10th through August 12th at the Performing Arts Center at the Sun Prairie East High School. Sarah, I'll start with you. You're the director, or one of the directors.
One of the directors.
One of the directors,
Mm-hmm.
yes. I guess the obvious question is the youth edition. Tell our listeners how it differs from the other edition that is being done starting, I believe, August 4th by grown-ups.
Yeah, it's interesting in this particular production because Cinderella already has multiple versions on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
So in one version, it's a little bit more political. It's French Revolution style. The stepsisters are a little bit different. So our production is different in that regard. Some of the names are different, but more importantly, with the youth edition, they make it much shorter. So our runtime is approximately an hour versus 2-ish.
Okay.
So we kind of take everything and just shrink it down a little bit. So it's a little bit more manageable for the cast and the production staff.
So are there songs that are just removed, or is everything kind of shortened, or how does that work?
A couple of things get removed and some of it gets shortened. They do a little bit of everything. So you get some of if you are a Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella fan, you'll get some of those, the classics, the 10 Minutes Ago, Impossible. But there are a few things here and there that get taken out just to make it more succinct.
And then I guess if you have a family with young children, is this the version that you would sort of recommend that they go see?
I would recommend both versions.
There
can
you
do a
go.
compare and
There's the sales
contrast.
pitch. There you go.
But yes, this is a perfect production to bring families to bring kids to. Mm-hmm.
Moses, I'll go over to you if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah.
Now you are playing Prince Christopher.
Yes.
That's a big role.
Yeah.
So what is your can I ask what grade you're in, or what grade you're going into?
I'm going into 8th grade this year.
8th grade. So how long have you been doing this sort of thing, or is this your first? I mean, I know it's not your first because we saw you last year, but how long have you been doing this sort of thing?
Yeah, so last year was my first, so this is my second production of any theater play sort of thing. So you've been totally loyal to Sun Prairie Civic Theater. You haven't done anything else between James and the Giant Peach and this one? No.
Okay.
This is my only 2 productions so far. Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about the audition process. Did you audition for this role, or do you just audition in general and you're assigned a role, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's a general audition. They have you come up, they have you say a few lines, sing a little bit of one of the songs, and teach you a little bit of dance, and then they sort of look at your performance. They see how apt you are at each of the different parts, and then depending on how good you are, I guess they assign you one of the principals. You don't really get to choose which part that you like. You know,
Okay.
you don't get I didn't come into it saying, hey, just so you know, I'm auditioning for the Prince or nothing. You know, you don't get to come into it with that sort of attitude.
That was the name of my autobiography.
Prince or nothing.
Prince or nothing.
I'll have to check that out.
Fern, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing good.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So what are you playing in the production?
I am playing Palace Staff.
Okay, so is that considered like an ensemble? Do you have lines? Or?
Basically, yes. Basically, it's just ensemble.
And then, what grade are you moving into this fall?
I am moving into 5th grade this fall.
And is this your first? Role in a production, or have you done things before, or what's your history with the stage, the hallowed stage?
I've also done James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, last year?
Mhm.
What role did you play in James and the Giant Peach?
As well, just ensemble.
Okay. Now, is this something that you've always wanted to do? I mean, obviously you're still pretty young, but I mean, is this something that you've just always enjoyed doing, or how did you get involved in theatrical productions?
Well, my mom kind of just asked me about something of it, and I kind of got a little interested in it, and so I decided maybe I could join in, and I got interested, and it was fun last year, so I decided maybe I could join in this year too. So.
Yeah, I guess obviously if you didn't enjoy it last year, you probably wouldn't be doing it again. So, okay, so let's reset here a little bit for people. So we're talking about the youth edition of Cinderella happening at the Sun Prairie. Well, it's Sun Prairie Civic Theater performance, but it's happening at Sun Prairie East High School. Sarah, how can people get tickets?
People can get tickets by going to sunprairiecivictheater.com, and all of the performances are available there.
And if what I'm looking at is correct, performances are August 10th at 7:30, which I guess is that Friday?
That's Thursday night.
That's Thursday night, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is why I have other people in the room with me. Okay, so Thursday night at 7:30, and then also Friday the 11th and Saturday the 12th at 2 p.m.
Correct.
General admission tickets are $10 for everybody.
Yes.
Okay. I'd also, I don't want to confuse people, so maybe we'll review the information for the adult version a little bit later. So Sarah, I don't think I asked you, is this your first time directing, or did I ask you that already?
You did not ask me that already.
Good,
no, this is my second year directing with Sun Prairie Civic Theater. I also directed James and the Giant Peach and Newsies last summer.
So this is like a reunion of the
It
James and
is
the
a
Giant
little
Peach
bit.
cast. Okay.
Yeah, it's been really wonderful to see how the kids have grown and changed over the course of the past year as performers and as people, and how different they are. So yeah, I had so much fun with them last summer that, when the other director approached me about doing it again, it was an easy yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think you'll move on and do more things, or is this cast just broken you down?
No, this year has been really wonderful. I have a theater background. I started out doing theater, in middle school as well, so it's really important for me to connect with these kids and give them an opportunity to perform and explore this side of themselves and have that creativity. And then I did theater all the way into college and took a break for a bit. My first production back with Sun Prairie Civic Theater was Matilda a couple of years ago. And then I've done several productions with the theater since then. So performing is my first theater passion. I really love being on the stage.
So when you say you did theater in high school and college, you did a lot of performing.
I did a lot of performing.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'll continue, I'll continue to do that. The auditions for Sound of Music are coming up, so I'm preparing for that.
Okay.
But yeah, I would love to continue working with the kids in the future.
Are you a part of the adult version at all?
I am not. It was one or the other, unfortunately.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Moses. So given that this version is about an hour shorter than the adult version, I hate to say adult version because that makes it seem like it's something it's not. It's the
all ages.
It's the all ages version.
Yeah.
Are there roles or scenes that people might be familiar with that aren't? I'm just trying to wrap my head around how it's condensed to
A
an
feel
hour.
for what's gone.
Yeah.
Lots of they cut to the Prince, you know, given a ball, whatever part pretty fast. There's not much of a character introduction.
Okay.
For me at least, you know, me, who am I, but the guy I am. That's one of the, I think it might be the beginning song.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So that entire bit is gone. Really, it's just synopsized. They cut everything down into smaller parts. So there might be a few smaller songs or scenes or backing tracks that are gone. But I think...
but there's still the fairy godmother's still there, I would
yeah,
assume.
fairy godmother's still
Cinderella's
there.
there.
Yeah.
Are there mice? Are Gus and Jacques in this, or is that a Disney thing?
Unfortunately not. I came into it like, Gus. You know?
There are mice. I mean, I guess they could be named Gus and Jacques. But
There are mice.
there are mice.
Okay.
And there's a king and queen in this version, which there is not in the adult version.
Oh, there's a king and queen.
Yes.
Okay. So, Fern,
Yes.
how do you describe the auditions a little bit? Is that kind of does that make you nervous, or is it just do you enjoy the auditions, or how's the audition process for you?
It gets me a little bit nervous before I audition, but like after it, or like during the process, it makes it feel better.
Okay. And then how often do you rehearse for this? What's been like the rehearsal schedule?
I do this Mondays and Thursdays every week.
And when did this get started?
Around week 7.
Week 7 of rehearsals.
Mm-hmm.
So you said Mondays, and what was the other day?
Thursdays.
Mondays. And so did you rehearse last night?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I mean, we're getting into pretty much crunch time. Do you think the show's starting to gel, starting to form? Do you feel good about how it's going to go?
Yeah.
Awesome. How do you feel, Sarah?
I feel really good. We have about 80 kids in the production.
Holy
and
moly.
so Mondays have been, for the past 6 weeks, they've been our all call nights where all 80 kids are there.
Mm-hmm.
So we run our big group ensemble numbers, such as the Princess Giving a Ball, and then we've broken them into sectionals for the rest of the week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are each 3 different sort of ensemble groups and the principals. And so this week starts every night except for tonight. Every night is full run-throughs with the entire cast.
Okay.
So I feel like, breaking it up like that made it really easy for the kids. They have to remember less, but we still get a whole complete show. Everyone still gets to be involved in multiple numbers. But yeah, it's just less intense on their part. And so that's been really nice, I think, in getting us to where we are now. Where I think, there's obviously still some kinks and things like that to work out, but we have this whole week almost of full run-throughs to find those things and break them down and fix them before we even get to Tech Week next week, and that feels really good.
So obviously with the all ages version happening sort of simultaneously, how was the rehearsal schedule agreed upon? I mean, I assume you're rehearsing at the same time.
Great question. We actually are renting space at the Cardinal Heights Middle School for the kids.
Oh, okay.
And that's working out really nice. And I've heard from some of the adults in the all ages cast, the barn gets real hot in the summertime.
I've heard that. Yes, I have heard that.
And there were a couple of times last summer where we had to either try to quickly move rehearsal or cancel rehearsal. And so this summer we thought, well, you know what? Instead of trying to make it work where all of us can be in the barn, let's go to an air-conditioned space. And so that's been really nice. We've rehearsed at the middle school, and then the all ages has rehearsed at the barn.
And you said there are 80 people involved?
80 kids.
Is that includes cast and crew, I'm assuming? Or are there kids on the crew?
We have a few high school or recent high school graduates on the production side of the team that are helping with directing, stage managing, choreography, costuming, sound, lights, marketing. So they're kind of helping in that capacity. I'm not counting them in the head count. So yeah, it's 80 kids performing on stage.
So Moses, so last weekend I went and saw, for reasons I won't get into because I put you to sleep, but I went and saw Legally Blonde Jr. at My Arts downtown, and they took the head role of Elle and they cut it in 2. So for the first half there was one actress playing Elle, and the second half there was another actress playing Elle. And the second actress wasn't blonde, which is a little odd, but that's neither here nor there. So do you play for the Prince for the whole show, or do you swap out at the midway point?
Yeah, so I'll be playing Christopher for the entire show.
Was that one of your demands? You said, prints or nothing, whole show or nothing. Was that?
It was just assigned to me. They've been nice enough to give us the whole thing. I think the closest thing to that is that there are 2 heralds instead of 1.
Now, which part is herald?
It's the person who goes out and kind of tells the crowd, like, hey, the prince is giving a ball. Everybody get ready. It's the day of the ball.
Is that like a narrator kind of a thing, or?
Yeah, he's like an announcer. He's like a almost bard sort of character,
Okay.
but he's hired by the king to give the announcement. And he's also at the ball. He leads up the girls to dance with the prince, whatever. So, you know.
So Fern, there's 80 kids in the production.
Yes.
Now, do you know all of them by name?
No, I do not know all of them by name.
But are there friends that you from your school that are in the production with you, or do you know some other kids in the production, or are they all sort of new friends to make?
I mean, I know a couple of them.
Okay. What are 80? There can't be. Are there 80 speaking roles, or a lot of kids singing?
Yeah, so there are some of the big group ensemble numbers that all of the kids get to sing.
Okay.
We really did try to make sure that as many kids as possible were able to get at least one speaking line or one solo. So we really did try to spread that out, but obviously there are only so many lines in the show.
Sure.
So yeah, not everyone has a solo speaking part.
But it's really nice that you were able to get so many kids that wanted to be involved.
Yes.
Because I'm sure at a young age, getting rejected could make somebody say, well, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So
and
it's nice to keep that open.
Last summer we had about 75 kids in total from the 3rd through 8th grade and the 9th through 12th production because we did 2 shows. This summer we decided to make it a little bit easier on ourselves as a production staff and limit it to 75, and we still ended up adding a few additionals.
Okay.
But yeah, there were some kids that auditioned. We had over 100 people audition.
Oh, wow.
So unfortunately we couldn't accept everyone, but
Okay.
it was pretty close.
And you mentioned Sound of Music a minute ago. Now, is that's the next production that Sun Prairie Civic Theater is putting on?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
the auditions for that start on the 16th, I believe, of August. So we basically go from the 2 Cinderellas right into auditioning for the next show.
And will there be 2 versions of Sound of Music?
Just one.
Just one, okay.
But that is like in all ages, as you said, that's an all ages production. So there are some kid roles.
Sure.
As you know, the Von Trapp children
Of
are part
course.
of that musical.
Yes.
So if there are kids that are interested, they definitely should come out and audition.
Moses, can you sing us a little Edelweiss right now?
Edelweiss?
Okay. Do you know the Sound of Music?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, actually,
I've never seen the production. I've only seen the film, so I should check that out when it comes to town. All right, Sarah, let's go through the logistics again. So the performances, tell our listeners again, we're talking about the youth edition of Cinderella.
The youth edition opens.
It's an hour long.
It's an hour long.
No intermission, I'm guessing.
No intermission.
Okay. Are there snacks sold at the are there concessions?
I am sure there will be concessions.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it opens Thursday night, the 10th at 7:30, and then we have 2 matinees, Friday the 11th and Saturday the 12th at 2 p.m.
Okay.
Tickets are $10, general admission, and you can get those at sunprairiecivictheater.com.
And I believe sunprairiecivictheater.com is the same place to go if you're interested in the all ages version as well.
Yes, it is. You can find all of the information for the all ages version there as well. That opens this weekend. Their ticket pricing structure is a little bit different, but they open Friday night, the 4th at 7:30, and then they have shows Saturday the 5th at 7:30, Sunday the 6th at 2, and then next weekend in the evening as well, which is why we're doing matinees in the afternoon.
I would recommend you go to both. Right?
I think so, yeah.
Compare and contrast.
Compare and contrast. You can see 2 different stories, 2 different takes on the same story. You can see how the actors decide to make different choices. I think that's the best decision for you, really, is to go see both versions. Yeah.
And don't tell anybody I said this, but Moses, I think your version's going to be the best
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a secret exactly.
Okay, very nice. I like the confidence.
I don't know who's going into the larger kids, or the larger
All ages.
all ages is what the term we're using for it is. Yeah. I don't know who's going in there, but I'm pretty confident that we have a great cast. It's all coming together, and we're all having a lot of fun doing so. So.
Do you get along with Cinderella, the actress who plays Cinderella?
Yeah, she's really nice.
That's good.
I don't think there's anybody I don't get along with.
That's
Everybody here is like fantastic. We've got a great group of kids this year.
My who plays Cinderella was in James and the Giant Peach as well. So they have some rapport built up from the last couple of years. It's also really cool with these two productions because we have some siblings and parents in the all ages production of some of the kids too. So it's kind of like a full family affair, right, Fern?
Nice.
Mhm.
Do you have some family members in the production?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews?
It's actually my mom in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Your mom's in there. What is your mom in the ensemble or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's in ensemble.
Okay. Do you go to rehearsal together with your mom or?
No.
No.
I only went there once.
Who's you can give me the straight story. Who's the better actress, you or your mom?
I'm not sure. I mean, my mom.
Very good answer.
I mean, my mom's probably watching this, so I don't want to offend her.
No, very good answer. Do you think you'll do this again, Fern? Are you having a good time?
Yeah, I am.
Good, excellent. And Moses, you'll keep doing this?
Probably not here. I mean, definitely not here. I'm actually moving to Mobile, Alabama
What?
in August. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll continue theater down there.
You're moving to Mobile, Alabama in August?
Yes.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah.
Did you say
next
August?
month. Yeah.
Because we're in August right now.
We're in August, right? Wait a minute. We are?
Yeah.
It's August already?
But you're going to be
Yeah.
able to.
That makes sense.
You're going to be in all the shows. You're not moving until after the production's over.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be a real big surprise.
That would
Can you imagine? Well, I did my performance,
Do you get a new job and you're moving? Is that the deal, or what happened?
Yeah, we got.
I'm joking.
There's lots of stuff.
Okay, you don't have to get into it. Well, best of luck on the move, and you'll have some warmer weather. Not that it hasn't been warm here this summer, but when it comes to be February, it'll be warm.
I might melt.
Well, okay, I don't think you'll melt, but okay. Hopefully, you'll get into a theater group down there and continue this because obviously you're good at it and you enjoy it. So.
Yeah, it's been a joy to work with Moses the past couple of years. We're really, really sad that he's moving, but yeah, it'll be great if he keeps it up.
Well, I want to thank Moses, I want to thank Fern, I want to thank Sarah for being here this morning again, just to give you the straight story one more time. It's a youth edition of Cinderella. It's August 10th, August 11th, August 12th. The August 10th show is at 7:30. The August 11th and August 12th shows are at 2 o'clock. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe. Right?
Yes.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And general admission tickets are $10 for all ages, and you can get those tickets at
sunprairiecivictheater.com.
All right, excellent. Well, best of luck with the show.
Thank
Show's
you.
gonna be fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome.
You're very welcome. Yeah, thank you. And make sure and again, go to both shows. You've got time. It's the summer. You're not doing anything better than that. Come on, go to both shows.